North Korea's nuclear journey began in the late 1950s, sparking a decades-long saga of international tension. With the assistance of the Soviet Union, North Korea initiated its nuclear program, a move that would later lead to profound global consequences. The nation, despite its modest beginnings in nuclear technology, was soon to become a force to be reckoned with. By the mid-80s, North Korea signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, a global agreement aimed at curbing the spread of nuclear weapons. However, in a move that shocked the world, it withdrew from the treaty in 2003, severing its ties with international nuclear oversight. 3 years later, in 2006, the world woke up the news of North Korea's first nuclear test, a pivotal moment that cemented its status as a nuclear power. This marked the beginning of North Korea's transformation into a nuclear power, forever changing the dynamics of international relations. Stay tuned with Cryptic Mystic Vault for more insights into global events and histories. The international community, rattled by North Korea's nuclear ambitions, responded with a mix of sanctions and diplomacy. The United Nations Security Council, representing a global consensus, imposed a series of sanctions on North Korea following their first nuclear test. These measures aimed to cripple the nation's nuclear capabilities and were further intensified with each subsequent test. Yet, sanctions were not the only tool in the global arsenal. Diplomacy also played a crucial role. Remember the six-party talks? This multilateral negotiation framework involved North Korea, South Korea, China, Japan, Russia, and the United States. The goal? Peaceful denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Then, there were the unprecedented summits between North Korea and the United States. These meetings, marked by both hopes and disappointments, symbolized a shift from confrontation to dialogue. But here's the rub. Despite these efforts, North Korea's nuclear program continued to progress, further escalating global tensions. Today, North Korea's nuclear capabilities are a source of global concern. The country's nuclear arsenal is estimated to be growing steadily, with some experts suggesting it may contain as many as a few dozen weapons. But it's not just the quantity of these weapons that alarms us, it's their ever-improving quality. North Korea has made significant strides in missile technology, developing systems that have the potential to deliver nuclear warheads to targets thousands of miles away. But why does North Korea persist in this perilous path? The answer lies in a complex mix of political, security, and ideological motivations. Politically, nuclear weapons are seen as a means to ensure regime survival, acting as a deterrent against external threats. From a security perspective, they provide a powerful counterbalance to the military might of regional adversaries. Ideologically, the pursuit of nuclear capabilities is tied to North Korea's self-image as a formidable global player, unwilling to bow to international pressure. North Korea's nuclear program presents a complex challenge for the international community. As we continue our journey into understanding this issue, we must remember that every step towards a solution begins with understanding the problem. The implications of North Korea's nuclear power extend far beyond its borders. The nuclear ambitions of this isolated nation have created a ripple effect on global security dynamics. In the Asia-Pacific region, countries such as South Korea, Japan, and China live under the specter of a potential nuclear threat, prompting them to bolster their own defense capabilities. Political analysts and security experts fear that North Korea's nuclear program could ignite a dangerous arms race. This is a scenario where nations, in a bid to secure themselves, might pursue their own nuclear arsenal, thereby escalating global tensions. The challenge of nuclear non-proliferation becomes even more complex in this context. Diplomats from around the world have voiced their concerns, stressing the importance of diplomatic negotiations to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. They argue that a military solution could lead to catastrophic consequences, not just for the region, but for the entire world. In essence, North Korea's nuclear program is a Gordian knot that intertwines political, security, and ideological threads, each of them influencing global security in its own way. The world watches with bated breath as the North Korean nuclear saga continues to unfold. The future of North Korea's nuclear program is shrouded in uncertainty. There are several possible scenarios that could unfold. One of these is a continued escalation, where North Korea furthers its nuclear capabilities, potentially leading to heightened tensions and a more precarious global security situation. In contrast, A diplomatic breakthrough could occur, with North Korea agreeing to denuclearize in exchange for concessions, potentially paving the way for peace on the Korean Peninsula. Another scenario could be a regime change in North Korea, either through internal forces or external intervention, which could drastically alter the course of the country's nuclear program. These scenarios are not exhaustive, and the reality could be a combination or something entirely different. Regardless of what the future holds, it's crucial that international efforts continue to address the challenges posed by North Korea's nuclear program. It's a complex issue that requires a nuanced approach, balancing sanctions and diplomatic outreach, while always considering the humanitarian implications. As we gaze into the uncertain future, one thing remains clear. North Korea's nuclear power is a global concern that demands our collective attention and action.